Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do very brief update tarot reading for ATEEZ Jongho since he had I believe he had like some kind of injury in his knee, or it was bothering him, so he had to somehow stop activities, and probably he's in hiatus. So since I don't read for members of groups that are in hiatus, or that they are serving in the military, because that's private moment, I'm going to just do an overall very brief tarot reading to see how he's doing, and the potential what's ahead for him in his recovery. So yeah, honestly, I don't see time, because tarot is not about time. It's not specific like that. But yeah, he does show a sort of like evolution. I think that this he definitely has a great system of support. He has his family, his community. Like, he definitely needs this rest, and it seems like he's very like organized, and he's been very well taken care of. Um, so let's begin with the cards that he got. He got the Five of Cups, the Hangman, Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Temperance, and then from the Oracle he got the card of Saturn in Aquarius, eccentricity. So definitely, I think that for him, having to stop, it's a sort of like it's very sad. He definitely, like, when it comes to how he feels, he probably at the beginning he felt very disappointed in himself, sort of like very guilty, like, oh, look all these opportunities that I'm missing, and he will probably remember this moment, and be like, okay, like, oh, like, this was so unfortunate that this happened now. But somehow, this injury, or this condition, this part of his body that was bothering him, somehow it was also like a sort of alarm. When there's a part of your body that is hurting, or that is you feel uncomfortable, and you cannot bear the pain. Here with the Hangman, it's like there's something about him having to stop. That probably that's what his body was sort of letting him know, because I believe that probably this happens to a lot of idols, that actually they, even though they feel bad, or they feel maybe sick, or they have like some worries about not feeling 100%, like, well, they probably like do not say anything, so they do not miss the opportunities, or probably so they cannot like, so they don't feel like they are a burden to the group, or that if they're absent is going to be negative for the group. And I think that for him it was like, I believe he tried to hide it for a while. He was like, okay, no, like, I'm fine, like, actually bothers me a bit, but I'm fine, tomorrow I will be fine, or I will get some rest. And then things got very, very obvious that I think that there's something about this. I don't know if it's a part of his body, if it's an organ, I don't know, but there's something about this part of his body that is hurting, that somehow stopped him. Like, somehow the pain, or the numbness, or the there's something about the difficulty to move. The Hangman, if we see it, is the image of someone like hanging upside down. So there's something about you having to stop, because your body is not moving. Like, somehow you are paralyzed, it seems, because the pain is too much. And definitely this sort of like potential to stop, and to also to take better care of himself, to sort of slow down. There's something about that. I believe that maybe this is for all ATEEZ members. There's this need to listen to the body, like, okay, like, yeah, when things are great, we go on, but when you start feeling like your body is not like your body's not agreeing with what you want to do, because definitely these are very ambitious and passionate guys. So I see them being very stubborn about taking a break. But definitely with the Handman was like his body was like shutting down, like you cannot move. You're not going to keep going like this. Like you cannot. I will not allow it. So he can be a bit angry at himself also, like thinking that there's something wrong with him, like why he wasn't able to hang on in there, and like it, and he was feeling like he had to sacrifice for the group. Then with the Ten of Pentacles in the middle, there's definitely a lot of support for him. The potential to be at home, the potential to be with the right people that will take care of him. I see of his family. I see his mom. There's something about his mom being present, or probably the women in his family or in his communities. All of them being very nurturing to him, also being very loving to him, like sort of helping him to connect with that it's okay to stop a bit, that that he has to regain strength, that he has to take care of himself, that his body. Also, the Pentacles always reminds us that our body is a very important part of our success, or of our possibility to achieve bigger things. If your body is not functioning well, you need to take care of it. You need to take care of your health, because it doesn't matter how much you really want things to happen, how much you think that you're going to achieve. If your body is not in a good condition, you cannot, I think that probably there's something about him being like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I cannot move properly, but I will just sit in there and I will sing. Him sort of feeling like he had the control over the situation. But there's something about his body being like very much like refusing to let him go on. Like somehow his body got like, I don't know if he got like a sort of like I don't know how to explain it in English, but it's like when you froze because the pain is too much. There's something about that, about not being able to move. So that's when you get to actually understand how serious this is. And also with the Ten of Pentacles, they're also doing a lot of kind of tests. They're doing all the analysis. He's going through all the the procedures that he has to go through. He's definitely is in a very well in a very like a good place about healthcare. I see him like visiting a sort of institution. I don't know if he's like actually in there, but I see him like being surrounded by a lot of people, like also like taking a lot of doing a lot of tests on him, not just that part that hurts. It's a general analysis of his body and his whole being. But definitely he has the love, he has the support. Also, when I see the Queen of Cups and I mentioned a mother figure, I also think that probably is the fans, the fandom, that also they consider themselves like the mothers of him, being very protective, being very loving, sending him messages of love, like sort of like here, like take a rest, like take care of yourself. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine with the Temperance. That the Temperance for me is like the healing card, and I think that he will recover. He will recover very soon. He will recover. But definitely this was needed. This sort of like his body was screaming for like attention, like somehow pay attention to me. uh, because actually I think that since there's not cards that indicate that he had a sort of a thought or an idea about it. I think that it was a much more like an emotional pain, because I believe that he just didn't want to let anyone down, and this was hurting him emotionally, and probably also feeling like he had this pain and he couldn't control it. That there was nothing that he could do to feel better. Um, I definitely think that that's what hurt him, the most. But he's slowly understanding, now that he's been taken care of. He's slowly like connecting with the present, with also his body. He's feeling better. He has a lot of support around him, and that's very important. People letting him know that he has to take care of himself, that he's a strong guy, but that he has to slow down a bit, and just take the proper rest. Um, I see actually like people with a lot of resources. I don't know if it's the company or his family, but he will get the proper cares, the medicine, the whole things that he needs. He got it, so he's under great care, guys. So don't worry about him. He will heal eventually. And then with the card of eccentricity, Saturn in Aquarius, I think that definitely these are crazy times for Jongho. Probably, for him it was like surprising how this happened. Moments that he probably feels very confused. He's like, but I was okay. Like, how did this happen? And he just has to adapt. He just has to adapt. I believe that his body holds a lot of wisdom. So there's a reason why he needed to stop. I don't know what is it. Um, but I think he knows. I think that there's something about his emotional nature. I don't know if he was like worrying about something, or he was just like, sort of like stressing about the situation, maybe about the group, and being like, okay, we should have won this, or we should have done better. So something about him being very, very harsh on himself, and literally this sort of, um, I believe it's a mix of emotional burden, him feeling very anxious and him feeling very sad sometimes, and then his body is like these two things, and I also when I see the Queen of Cups, and I see the Temperance, there's something about the water element, and I don't know why I get that. Also, it's something that it has to do with either his blood pressure or his blood. Somehow it has to do with this, that he wasn't feeling very good emotionally. Um, but thank God his body sort of was wiser, and it took the protagonism that it needed to be taken, because somehow if this part of his body didn't hurt that much, he would have continued. And actually that was not okay. That was not the solution. His body definitely needed to rest. Not only to rest, it needed to be taken care of, to be healed, to have the proper treatment. This is not about like, oh, go home, because I don't see the card of just go home and take a break, go home and just lay down on your bed, and don't move. No, this is more about like, no, let's go to the hospital, and you have to get tests, and you have to do a lot of things, and a lot of people have to see you to examine you. It's like, okay, go home and work on your body, work on getting better, and work on your health. But he's going to be okay, guys. So yeah, these are very weird moments for him. When I see the card of eccentric, this situation caught him off guard. It's very confusing, but definitely he will come out like a new person after this. He definitely will get a new view, and he will probably also let go of a lot of literal weight on his shoulders about him pressuring himself too much, or him feeling like being too severe with himself. There's something here about probably all these this treatment and everything sort of changing the way he thinks about himself. And probably when he gets better and when he comes back, you are going to notice that he's going to be different, sort of lighter, like he's going to change. He's going to somehow, there's going to be a liberation. He's going to be different. And I think that he needed this. He definitely, it's an experience for him to reconnect with his body and to also let go of some burdens. So yeah, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.